Xenochat episode of 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. I am one of the hosts, Tyler, along with Justin.
Hey, guys.
All right, with us today, we have Nick.
Hello.
Mary.
Hello.
And B.
Hello.
Okay, so yeah, this first episode of the new year, we're just gonna... not too high stakes, because basically what we're gonna do... We've had our Xenoblade 3, we've had our Xenoblade X Remastered, and now we're looking to the future and wondering what is next for Xenoblade or Xeno in general. But first, Justin, you have a few figure announcements, don't ya?
Not really figure announcements. It's more like I saw some stuff on Ami Ami. I generally check it before we record, being like, oh, are there any fun deals? Well, you can get Cosmos version 4 extra coding edition on Ami Ami for $32.30 USD, which is pretty nice. There's also a pre-owned 1/8 scale Telos on there as well at $75.08 USD. Pretty sick figure, you gotta say. If you're looking for the Formula model kit that came out, the 1/48 scale of that is currently on sale on Ami Ami at $38.93 USD. And I also saw that the Xenogears structure arts, the 1/144th scales, volume 2 of that is on sale for $55.67, and you could also still get the Formism Act Veltal. That it's like a $200 figure. Yeah, $225.25. I don't know, how big is that? I know it was a pretty big figure. It looked big.
It looked really nice, but I did not get it.
Yeah, it's a very, very cool looking figure. I don't have it either. It's because it's really expensive.
Yeah.
And also, in addition to that, the what was it? The Beyond the Cosmos soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
Across the Cosmos. That's up again and open to the public. So we did a whole episode on that music and how amazing it was to see that live. So if you guys want that, like a physical copy of it, either the vinyl or the CD, definitely check that out. That is up. You can buy that. Do note that if you live in the States, the shipping is gonna be kind of wild.
It's been
unfortunately
lately, I will say. There's been a lot of model kits that I've been really.
I will say, as a Canadian, it can be quite expensive to get stuff from Europe too, and unfortunately, these are from Europe.
But there's some pretty cool stuff on here.
Yeah.
If you're willing to take the hit on the shipping.
Yeah, shipping's high on everything.
Yeah. But you can get the piano solo score book, which is pretty cool. There's also the music box that is in stock, the Xenosaga music box. It's a gorgeous music box. You can get the vinyls, and you can also get the original soundtrack for Xenosaga Episode 1 on there as well, on CD.
Nice.
Yes. I got those from the Kickstarter, and they're all really, really nice quality, especially the music box. It's really lovely.
And this isn't Xeno related, but they also have the Symphony East vinyl on there as well. I just saw it on there too. I was like, I should shout that out.
Shouting out Falcom, let's go.
I was to say, even lately, I've been getting some of those model kits, mostly because I recently finally got in the formula that they whenever they put that back on order last year, and I also late last year that Cosmos version 4 came back, and I did that. Got the shipping, and it's the cheapest option is still going to be $30 or something. It's wow.
Yeah, shipping went up over the years too, so it doesn't help it.
Yeah, and I know when I got the Kickstarter, I had the extra fee that I had to pay the UPS.
It always depends where it shipped from, of course, but shipping has gone up over the years, unfortunately.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on. So we're just gonna discuss ways that we want to either improve the series or see what what we would like to see in the future from either Xenoblade 4 or whatever Monolith Soft does next. So yeah, we'll start, since B, you're kind of short on time. What are your hopes and dreams for the Xeno series?
All right. I do have a list, so bear with me. Being only played Blade, I have kind of a limited overview of all the other Xeno games. But from what you've all told me, that Blade does have some overarching themes that kind of mirror or imitate previous Xeno games. For me, as someone who just played Blade, in future games, I want that link to be broken. I want something fresh and new, and it doesn't reflect on the past, which kind of breaks my heart because I love the Zelda series, I love the Metroid series, I like how they all are interconnected, but with Xeno, it seems too much when they're grouped in like games 1, 2, and 3, but then there's kind of a little bit related to Gears or Sega. I don't know if I'm right or not, having not played the games, but
I will say it's less that it's completely connected, and more so I think that they're trying to, reinvent the ideas that they could not complete before, without necessarily it being like, they did give us cookies. Okay, they did give us cookies, but I think so far it's mostly cookies, and them, I think, trying to bring back some of those ideas that they had to put in the trash can. And I think it's still gonna be something new, but I do feel like they're trying to bring back some of their ideas that they could not realize before. I feel like that's definitely a direction they're trying to go at. They've already tried to bring back stuff. So I don't think it's necessary for you to play Xenogears or Xenosaga to particularly enjoy it, because it's still its own story. It's just retold. It's just they're bringing back things that they did in Gears and Saga because they could not complete it. They're trying to complete their vision, is basically what it is. So,
well, I think that if you want to completely divorce the series from even doing the winks and nods and stuff like that, you probably just want a different game than the Xeno series.
Yeah, I
altogether, not another Xenoblade or something, I definitely think in a sense, I do think it would be cool to get a little bit more of a fresh start from Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3, at least. Yep. That's where I'm kind of at with it, but still have some connections here and there, just in very small ways.
Yeah, I've got opinions on that, but I'll save a lot of that for my turn.
Yeah.
I also would say I don't want them to just be necessarily thrown in my face. I felt
we're gonna get to that.
I know basically what Justin, I think, is gonna kind of get into. I'll just mention it's I kind of expected it, and it didn't per se bother me that it was there, but it was also whenever I saw it, the very direct ones in Xenoblade X Definitive Edition, I was just kind of okay. Sure, whatever.
I mean, you guys made me watch the YouTube videos of, forgive me, I don't know which Xeno it is, with the Gnosis and whatnot.
Xenosaga.
Sure, you made me watch that, and then with the Definitive Edition with all the extra stuff at the end of X, and you're like, hey, isn't it and I'm like, I don't want is it I want something new, nothing related to it. But I don't know. That's just me. I'm crotchety and old. Okay, give me a break.
I feel like at this point, going back to more stuff like Saga would feel new, honestly.
Yeah,
As long as
honestly,
we've
I
been
think
on
it
Play
would
Blade.
because Saga still had very much like it had similar teams. I would say the closest one that has similar team was X, but still, it would still be new because it'd be if they went more in the Saga approach, it'd be more in the space, and they didn't do that a whole
Harder
lot in
sci-fi.
Xenoblade. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
a full-on sci-fi and not just more fantasy sci-fi.
Speaking of, we're talking about story. What I'd like to see, and this is something that's relatively new to my repertoire and that I really like, is when a game gives you the story, fine, but you don't know the whole story unless you explore everything that you possibly can. And my example is, I have two. One is Outer Wilds. If you're not familiar with the game, you don't know what the heck is going on in space until you find like logs to tell you what's going on, and that how you figure out how to beat the game. Another new game that did that also was Metroid Prime 4. So you have the story, but you don't know what's going on this world until you read the logbook, and you can easily miss the logbook. So I would like to kind of give me a story, but let me explore how I like to explore in those games.
Technically,
find hidden secrets
Xenosaga did a lot of that. Though it did have cutscene hell, but like Xenosaga
I did
had so much.
Saga.
Yeah, but Xenosaga had so much lore hidden to the world because they couldn't show it all that it was insane.
Based on the
What I was-
Metroid Prime 4 comment, I'm going to say that what B's more referring to is they locked an ending in Metroid Prime 4 behind 100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Xeno
I would
doesn't seem to do
personally
that.
not like that because of my time is limited, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what Xeno does? Because Xeno has its own version of that, and you know what that
pretty
is? The art books.
That's
True.
true.
Yeah, but I don't have time to go.
I know,
collect
I get it. But
What's
I'm just saying,
funny-
like, that's like
What's
what
funny
Xeno
about
does
that
with
is
Xeno.
like in other stuff that would just be behind the scenes what we were kind of thinking when we designed this, but when it comes to like the Xeno stuff, it's always like, oh well, this is actually something that we just kind of intended to be canon, but it just never made it in the game.
Exactly, like it's
They're very
so
over
what I was gonna
ambitious.
say-
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is Xeno. That's Xeno's version of it, and I kind of wish that they would cool it with that in some ways, because like wasn't there like lore on like one of the soundtracks even?
Was it
they're, like,
soundtrack or
doing
was
that?
it Siren?
Dude, there was
I
lore on the
Was that
back
the
of the
soundtrack or
Siren box.
Siren?
There was
Siren
lore
had
on the
lore.
Siren box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was a Siren box. It was, I remember there was something like ridiculous like that where it's like, what? I don't know. I feel like it kind of gets ridiculous at a certain point. Like I remember with Xenoblade 3, there was crazy stuff because like the art book had like really insane lore that answered some questions that people like had with it, and it's just like, damn, it would have been nice if this was actually in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of real life collecting items for lore hunting. I know Metroid Prime did it for if you didn't complete the game 100%.
I don't think they do it on purpose. It's more so that they couldn't fit it anywhere and they just added it somewhere.
Well,
No, they did in Prime 4.
Oh, go on.
And
My
they did it in
problem-
Prime, yeah. One of the amiibos, you needed one of the amiibos to be able to see a scene. I'll leave it at that.
It's either
Yeah.
that or you beat it 100%.
So
yeah.
what I was going to say is my problem with Xeno is, the reason why I'm not sure if it's even like an accidental thing anymore is because they've done this like in several of their games at this point. Like they've been doing this same thing since Gears, right? Where like we have a game and it's like, and then it's like, okay, it's unfinished, and then they release an art book or some material that just suddenly, oh yeah, here's all the answers. Now we're filling in all the gaps.
No.
And it's like, at a certain point, I don't mind it if it was like one game doing it, but when it's multiple games doing it, it gets kind of exhausting. So by the time it happened in Xenoblade 3, I'm just like, why? Why are we still doing this?
They need to bring back the Xenosaga database. That way they can tuck away more of those details.
Yeah, the database was really nice in Xenosaga 3.
Yeah.
Or they should do like do what 13 Sentinels did. And have you unlock a bunch of stuff as you play the game, and then you're like piecing together stuff. That's kind of
I'd be
fun.
fine with
that was really fun.
That would be cool. I'd be down
fine
with that.
Yeah. So that's what I saw in Metroid. I'm like, yeah, I would really like that. Like,
cool.
And we like that.
Yeah, because there's it's okay to have little hidden Easter eggs. Like one of them, again in Metroid, is there's an abandoned laboratory. Well, there's an abandoned laboratory in every single Metroid game, if you think about it. But then you find these logbooks to explain why. I'm like, oh, well, that's very sad. But yeah, I digress. Anyway, one thing I do really hope they continue with is the atmosphere building, like what they've done with Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart World. Metroid tried to do that because they're like, hey, we're going to try to do what Breath of the Wild did and did some look around at the landscape. It failed.
There's some really interesting stuff I've heard recently about the development of that game and like just what was left of it from the previous build that carried on to the current build, and who knows what of it's true, but also like that got handed off from a Japanese studio to a Western studio.
Yes, it did.
There's all kinds of things I feel like you could go on for days about how that went wrong. But yeah.
I'm just using it as an example because the way that games are now turning is open world. And I'm all for that.
Not just now.
What I really hope they do is what they do in Mario Kart. Because I'm saying Mario Kart because I know Monolith was part of that. There are so many hidden things which are in the Xenoblade games. So many hidden things that you can find and unlock things, and you can go whichever direction you want. And I want them to do that. They did that well with X, but in 3, like Blade 3, I really, really did not like those hidden walls where you're like, you can't go this way. Well, if I want to go into a heavily guarded fortress where I'm going to get my ass handed to me, then let me do that. Don't be like, oh, you're not high enough level. Like what they did in 3. That drove me nuts. If I want to get eaten by a T-Rex, let me get eaten by a T-Rex. Please bring back...
That's kind of inherently anti-Xenoblade.
Yeah, please bring that back, because I'm at 3, they had those walls and barriers and didn't like that. I want more of those atmospheric anomalies. I want more of that open world stuff. Let me jump off a cliff and see where it goes. You know?
It goes to a comment from that was poorly judged.
Fun fact, in every video game that's open world that I like to try, I like to see if I can fall from a height and see if I can swim. So that's how I determine my boundaries, is if I can survive a fall and if I don't drown.
That reminds me, I played a video game today that I've totally expected to like a new video game today that I totally expected to I walked up to the edge, and I always poke around a lot whenever I pick up a new game, just get a feel for the controls, get a feel for how directed the experience is, at least in the tutorial area, things like that. And I fully expected this game to be once you got to the edge, the game would be no, it's just an invisible wall, so you don't, hurt yourself. And no, it let me walk off the edge into the abyss, and it just respawned me. I was like, okay. I mean, I'm glad it didn't kill me, but it's funny that it just lets me walk off cliffs in this game and die.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, in this case, I hope one thing that I would like in the future is to bring back no fall damage like in Xenoblade X.
Yeah, I like that.
And the jump. And
Yeah.
the jump. I
And
want
the jump.
And the
jump.
sprint.
Oh.
And the sprint.
funny.
Please let us
And-
sprint.
All of the
Yeah.
above. All the above.
While we're at it, why don't we just get like a cool vehicle too?
Yeah. Like a mech.
give us mechs again.
Yes.
See,
Yes,
I'm okay
that-
without mechs though.
No. That's the number one thing on my
no.
list. Is
No,
bring
a mech.
Okay.
Because
I'm
Because
sorry, I
the mech-
never grew up in the mech era.
We don't have
I-
enough
Wow.
mechs in the
Xeno-
Xenoblade. Like they're just
Xenoblade X has mechs that change into like vehicles, so you get both.
I know, but
It's,
I
it's
don't,
like Transformers.
I don't like it.
Well,
don't
that's
like it.
that's bad on
That's
you.
a
I
me
guess.
problem. I know.
It's
That's
okay.
a me problem.
I almost wonder if
No, it's not okay. How dare you say that?
I almost wonder what if we got like a mix of that. Like you have like more animal rides and mechs, and they
Hey,
each have their
I'm
own
okay with
advantages.
animals.
Because like they
Not-
like semi they like not I'm not even gonna say semi like they like barely experimented with that in Xenoblade 2.
Can't
It was
believe
only
B only
Dromar.
likes vehicles that can take a shit. Apparently,
Yeah, and rip people's eyes out. I mean, I'm okay with that.
so can a mech.
No, I don't want a mech.
What were you saying, Justin?
Yeah, like I think it could be interesting if you could do that, or like again another idea that Xenoblade 2 experimented with, like the ability to raise certain monsters. Like you have the Armu that you could raise, and then you could turn that into
yeah.
a super boss. I thought that was actually one of the coolest things in that game.
Yeah.
There's a couple like things that Xenoblade 2 experimented with once, and I'm like, no, you need to do this more often.
I have another question for B on that note. Actually, now that I think about it, is like, what if instead of like full on just mechs, they bring like another thing that's like the mech-on, but some of them are like rideable. So
Yeah, I
it's
could
like
do it.
a mecha animal, basically, kind of.
So it's like Baymax.
I mean, I would say Baymax is a little closer to just a straight up robot.
Pretend he's more fleshy.
Pretend it's more fleshy.
I mean, I guess I don't know. It's like Horizon Zero Dawn, I guess, or something. You know, it's like, oh, they're robots, but they're robot animals. But or like the Mechon in Xenoblade 1 were considered like a living being, like living beings in the end. It was like they're made of metal, but they come from a place where metal is life.
I would like a giant bumblebee as a mount.
That works.
That's technically a
If-
mech
if-
too.
If
Yeah.
we give you that, can we
you
have
ride the bumblebee? It's not a mech.
Dang. I mean, what if you remote control? What if the next Xeno has remote control robots like Rad?
Yeah, right.
Well, just give us another rad.
Yeah, I would love that.
Somebody's gotta. D3's not gonna do it. They're too busy with our defense force all the time.
Yeah.
And also, I think Square Enix has to publish that.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, to go along with the atmosphere. See, there is a thought process. I do have a thought process. I like the music. Let's continue with the music. I'm okay with like if we keep each zone having their own unique music.
I say no music in the next game. I say we nix all. I'm just kidding.
Just silent.
Well, you're fired.
So we're going back to episode 1 of Xenosaga,
what?
huh?
Yeah.
Like more exotic kind of sound, like what they did in Noclium. I like that. Like,
Oh,
I like that.
Mm.
But yeah, I like the music. Let's keep it up. What else is on my note? Oh, storyline, kind of. I'd like to see, instead of one linear storyline, I'd like to see two, like what they did in Scarlet Nexus. It's the same storyline, but seen at two different perspectives.
Oh, okay.
Do you
No.
get what I say? So, say,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
get
know.
it.
Say you
I'm on-
have the antagonist, you follow their line, and then you have the protagonist, and you follow their line, and somehow they're interconnected, blah, 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 but you play as both. Like Scarlet Nexus. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. I'm a little mixed on that because I've still failed to play that game a second time. I'm kind of
Really?
like, yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, like I like it, but I was just kind of like, well, I mean, I feel like this, and well, honestly, I did see the other story because I watched HK play it the other way through.
I didn't
And
see
you
the
give me
other side. I didn't see the other side yet, but I also
And you
plan.
guys give me crap for Near Automata for only playing it once.
I didn't give anyone crap because I haven't finished all
Fine.
the routes myself because no time.
I've never heard of Near a Tomato.
Tomato.
No, well, we do
Yeah.
because like Scarlet. Well, for one thing, Scarlet Nexus is a much longer game than Nier Automata.
Yes.
And it's the thing about it is like I feel like from seeing both, yes, there are some fairly big differences in Scarlet Nexus's stories depending on which character you play. So it like there are some details you could fill in, but you really like in the back, like in the last quarter of Scarlet Nexus, it fills you in on everything you missed on the other side of the story, regardless.
Yeah,
It just doesn't show you how it happened.
Yeah,
like they actually cover everything that happened on the other side of the story. You just don't get to see it in the same way through like the same perspective. So like you really don't miss anything either way.
Yeah, I'd like to just see two different sides of a coin. I mean, if I'm having a big wish list, I'd like to see that.
I find that this entry is kind of interesting considering the no 100% completion to, you know, like get the final story thing. I get it in like a weird mental way, but at the same time it's like, yeah, that's like a lot shorter than playing through the entire game over again.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's on my wish list. Even if it's in the sequel, like you play the one side and then the sequel you play the other.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
You'll just have to forgive me. I'm not like a huge game replayer. I like to replay some games that I really, really love.
I would love to replay Scarlet Nexus when I have a chance because I did love the battle system a lot.
It's really fun.
Yeah, it's the way the reason why I'm thinking that way is a lot of the games that I play is because I am attracted to the lore. And by seeing both sides of the coin, like I would love to have seen what Malice's side was. Like we get little tidbits of it, but I'd like to see like his thought process or what's that dude's name in 3? Zed?
That yeah.
Zed?
Yeah. I'd like to see his story. Like I don't want to be left hanging for my own imagination, which often fails me. Spell it out to me. I'd love to play their storyline. But
I will say with Zed, I don't. Yeah, I will say with Zed, I don't think there's like a whole lot more to glean for him. Like maybe, but with how what kind of character he is and like what he represents, I feel like that's like the main thing with him. With Malos, I can see them adding for Malos though.
Malos would have been cool to see a perspective of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like he does get a lot, like you do get a lot of Malos's story in the main story as is, but like actually I do feel like there's a lot that you just kind of got to read into with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like what they did to the DLC with Jin, that was great.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And it makes sense for them to do that with Jin because Jin came from a very different place than Malos does. So
yeah, but you know that's just my thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Online. Let's bring some more online stuff.
Oh yeah,
like
some multiplayer like X, but like even more, like where you can go out on the world. Be cool.
I never played X on the Wii U online, just because I didn't know.
It wasn't exactly
when I was playing with you guys all online. That was awesome. Like I had such a blast. Let's bring more of it. Let's do more of it. Let's quest together. I don't know.
It wasn't always
Yeah.
the easiest thing to do, but one thing that I do really love in X that I would love to see back, in a way at least, is I like the passive online stuff. It's kind of like it's actually kind of also like in Souls games. Like you can play a Souls game completely solo, but people
Yes.
can leave you messages in the world. And like I liked seeing, oh, this blade, this blade who is another person playing the game got this achievement or discovered this, or like I think that's cool to have that little feed like that like hits in my, I guess, part of my ADD brain a little bit, is just where it's like, oh, an extra little thing to look at every now and then in the corner while I'm doing this stuff myself, and I can compare my stuff to other people's, like, just passively. It doesn't make a huge difference. It just makes things feel more lived in to me, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
feel more immersed in a world where it's like, oh, well, other people are doing these things too, and you see their characters, like, making these strides in this world, but like you have to have a setup that works in that scenario, and that game just kind of really does. I think they could do it, even in a very like character focused Xeno, like the main three and stuff. But I'm not sure how they would go about it. I do think it would be interesting to see that now that you bring that up.
Yeah.
What I would like to see in terms of just like online connectivity, I think more co-op modes would be really cool. But like the thing that I want to see the most, even more than just co-op, and again, it's something that they've experimented with. They didn't really do I don't think they did a great job with it, but I think they absolutely could have expanded on. It'd be cool if there was like a real trading system, or like give you the opportunity to like open up shops and sell to other players. Like I remember,
Like World of Warcraft Marketplace.
Yeah, like that. Or like I remember back in the day, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin had a feature like that where you could set up a shop and then people could come and buy stuff from you. And I think that could be like so cool because like the original version of Xenoblade X had the treasure deal, and
yeah, the treasure
like,
deal got me some good stuff,
which was a cool idea. They removed this from Definitive Edition, I'm pretty sure, but basically, throughout the game, if you got like certain loot that you didn't want, you could offer it up as a treasure deal, and so. While you're playing the game, you'll see a pop-up that says treasure deal, and then you could like opt in on it, and then like it would just pick like a random player from that pool of people to give the item to them. So I want to see them basically bring that back and just expand on it.
It was so funny
just,
because
like,
I would be playing like all the time, and in the corner it'd be like press minus to enter the treasure deal, and it would be somebody giving away like one of the strongest swords in the game for like a single credit.
But it'd be cool if like they brought that back. Maybe not do it that way. Maybe just make it like an actual trade system. Like you could just trade with your people on your friend list, or you could just sell items to people. I think that would be really cool.
Mm.
Yes.
So, are we saying that we want a Xenoblade MMO?
Not even.
Not quite.
I'm just saying, I think just a trading system would be really cool where you could just say, like, hey, I've got all this extra loot. Do you want it? And then you just give it to a friend.
Like, I'm fine with the way that Xenoblade Cross does loot, but I do think it would have been, like, really... I think that they did some really cool stuff with, like, the shortcuts. Every time you get, like, a massive loot, like, you can either go through it, or you can, like, sell it all, or like, but I do think it could have been a little more graceful. Like, make it like fewer buttons to go through it, let you just like check mark off stuff, set filters, things like that. Like, I do that with all the menus. Like, allow us to like really fuck with the filters on those menus in the next Xeno. Like, if I'm looking for something that I want to like slot in this to make this whatever, this weapon or whatever more powerful, whatever system they use in the next one. Let me make multiple loadouts. Let me set filters for what I'm searching for.
Yeah, let's have a search function, please.
Well, I mean, they kind of have to a degree, but it's like there's always been something that's like, oh, it's cool that they have this, but also it comes with this one caveat of like, oh, they really got to figure out these menus, like.
Yeah, I think I've complained about this in the Xenoblade 3 episode, where like
And we
First,
complained
you couldn't
more about
sort.
it too.
Yeah, you couldn't sort a whole lot of stuff in that game, and it
Mhm.
was really annoying because that was a game that expected you to experiment with different classes, right? And
Yep.
different
Yeah.
classes would require very different pieces of equipment. So it was really annoying if you're going between two classes and then having to find the equipment that would actually benefit the class. And yeah, that I didn't think that was very good. And it's funny because I think Xenoblade 2 actually had a decent sorting system.
Well,
They
somewhat, and they also updated it to
Depends
where
for
it had
what.
a little bit better.
If it was for
But the aux cores,
if it was-
they updated it still was bad.
the aux score was really bad.
Yes. Fuck.
I gave up on the aux score. I was like, okay, I equipped something that's good enough. I'm never touching it again. Goodbye.
Yeah, I get that. Like, 3
yeah.
definitely was a step up in some ways in a lot of the
Yeah.
menus, but there were definitely some stuff that I was like could have been like
Yeah,
quite a
the
bit
sorting
better.
needs to be better in that game. I think Xenoblade X had an okay sorting system for the loot, but I think like it still needed
There's
some
just
work.
so much.
There's just
so
a
much
lot.
of
Yeah, there's a
everything and all
lot
that
to go
stuff.
through in that game.
And I know it
Like
feels
they tried. They did what they could with it.
it feels like a lot to ask for, but I think a thing where you could build loadouts for the classes in 3 and it would save them would have been
That would have
Yes.
been
incredible.
so good.
That would have been great.
Like
That would've been
multiple
really good.
loadouts for them. Like I would have loved to just been able to save like like just up to 6 loadouts for each character. Is that asking too much? I don't know.
Hell, even if it's not
Mhm.
even for each class, just be like, okay, here are your favorite setups. Like
Or
your
yeah,
favorite
something
setups.
like that.
Yeah.
Even yeah.
That would have been fine.
They do that in
would've been
Monster
perfect.
Hunter, the app game.
Oh yeah, well, like a lot of Monster Hunters actually let you make loadouts, which is nice.
Oh yeah,
But
well.
they also were a game where you only build one character versus like 6
Yeah.
or more.
Speaking of loadouts and combat, I like what they did in 3, where you could choose if you wanted more of like a Xeno 1 kind of style or Xeno 2 kind of style. I like that. I liked having that choice.
I liked the mix, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like them to do something like that again. That you could choose how you want your combat style to be. I like that.
I personally think that we're just going to get a new style altogether in the next one.
That would be okay too. I'm okay with that too.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it is not like turn based, please.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think it's
Well,
going to be turn-based, but
well, I think it's still gonna be like, you know, what it is
Live action.
currently in terms of how the menus work. But I do like when they had it in 3 where things felt a bit more snappy. Like I really enjoy
Yeah.
how snappy Xenoblade 3 was.
yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I've got a few battle mechanics related things I would like to mention actually now that I'm thinking on it.
Well,
Yeah, go
how
for
about
it.
this? Do we want to like move on to the next person, or does B still have more?
Or
thoughts?
yeah, I'll let B go on. more.
Let me check my note. No, that's pretty much my list. I mean that it was pretty basic.
Okay. All right. Then
Sorry.
Nick, yeah,
Alright,
you can
then-
go on.
Then
Okay,
I
I
will
would-
tap out. Thank you
Oh.
for including me and
Okay,
accommodating.
sounds good.
Thank-
Oh, okay.
No
Yeah.
problem. Thanks for joining.
If
Thank
you
you.
can and want to stick around for a little while longer, though you're completely welcome to, of course. But if you want to tap out, that's fine too.
Yeah, I just have a meeting in the morning with the consultant.
I see.
No
All right. Well,
worries.
have a good night.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Bye. Have a
night.
great evening.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go on,
So-
Nick.
Yeah, no, it just got me thinking on like the battle mechanics stuff. And I know this is one that I've talked to Justin in the past about as well, because we kind of both have had this problem. It feels like ever since Xenoblade 1, because that was the game that had the Foresight in it, and I mean, I guess 2 technically did a little bit. But anyway, I don't feel like they have solved the problem of enemy is going to do a world-ending attack that will out down your entire party, like, and you need to prepare for it. I just don't really feel like the tells for that in the more recent Xeno games has been as good as they could be. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there needs to be something
Yeah.
for that will like allow you a little bit more of a chance to just to like actually prepare for it, or like have something you can actually do about it. Because there's been so many times, like we saw this all the time in 3, I felt like, where it's like, oh, I like this enemy is like kind of overpowered for me, but I'm holding my own, I'm doing pretty well, and then like you get him down to like 1/8 of his health left, and he just decides to do smash my fat ass in your face attack, and it kills you. And I'm like, well, that's cool, but I just sat here for the last like 10 minutes, like hacking away at this guy, 10 minutes or more hacking away at this guy for that to happen, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah. I completely agree with that, because it's like, okay, so like Xenoblade 1 tried to do that, and it's not Xenoblade 1, and especially in retrospect, it wasn't the most elegant solution. It did work, but it did kind of disrupt the flow of the fights a lot.
I'd agree with that.
But like it did what it was supposed to do. So like I'm not gonna say it was bad. But
I mean, I think part of this issue could honestly just be solved by UI, even, because
that's where I'm getting at. So and I have an example for that too, because Xenoblade 3, right? I've said this before. I don't like the UI in Xenoblade 3. I think that
either.
I
find the colors too aggressive too.
It's not even just the colors. Yeah. I agree with that, but it's not even just the colors. It's that in Xenoblade 3, whenever an enemy is doing an art,
it just replaces their name.
It replaces their name, which I think is a mistake.
Very silly, because I barely notice it.
Exactly. Like, you're not going to notice it. And there's even, and Xenoblade 3 even has a meter telling you when they're going to do the attack. It is so hard to notice that meter. What Xenoblade 2 did was a little bit better, in my opinion, where it actually had the attack name show up in the center of the screen. You could see that there's an animation for it even.
I agree. I agree on that one.
That was like, and that's what made Xenoblade 2 a lot easier for, like, when it came to, like, fighting the super boss. But Xenoblade 3, it's just like, if I get hit in Xenoblade 2, I'm like, fine, whatever. I saw it. It was right in my face. I knew it was coming. Xenoblade 3, like, even when I'm looking right where I should be looking to prepare for it, I will still miss it because it just blends together with everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt the exact same way, and that's why I kind of, like, wanted to bring that up. Like, I don't even think it would be that bad if I actually noticed, like, when it was happening, but, like, it is, for some reason, just it being there. I guess their thought process was, well, I mean, you know, it's right there where the name and the health bar is. Yeah. Of course you're going to look up there. I'm like, I'm not going to look that close up there.
No. You got to put it a little bit further down. That's what Xenoblade 2 did, and I think
so much UI going on the screen that I have to keep up with. Otherwise, that is not the main thing I'm ever looking at.
Yeah.
We need a better tell for it. Heck, we like maybe even like something better to help you with, like, how do I I did like the feature in 3 where they were like, hey, this is where, well, actually they added it in the remake of 1, where it's like, hey, these arts are like usable for like their premium versions now, where you do more damage because you're in the right position or this or that.
Right.
I think that kind of stuff, those little tool tips like that are pretty nice. But I like whenever stuff like that happens, is like, hey, maybe do that more for, like, hey, here's some moves that you can use to potentially counteract this, you know, stuff like that. Just, you know, like when you're in the midst of battle, it's like, yes, I feel like it's more fun if the player learns this stuff in some ways, but also it's like you can just make that toggleable on and off, and it's like once the player figures out, oh yeah, this is the move that will do this, that will counteract these moves when they're doing this or something, or that will potentially help towards counteracting them and stuff like that. Like, you could just like turn it off once you get used to it, and then it's like, yeah, you've learned it, whatever, you know. But yeah, no, just like little stuff like that. There's a lot of little things with like the UI. I feel like they have done some really cool things over the years with UI and quality of life and things like that I felt like, wow, that's really forward thinking. And then there's always been like some other area where it's just been like, what the fuck were we thinking? Like, another thing, not related to that. I love the dodge in 3. Like, just for like getting you into.
I love sidestepping so much.
The side, yeah, and it's not really just a dodge. It's like a get yourself into position faster. I love that. I think we can do more with that, though. I want to see it come back, and if we're going to do builds where you can have like a chance to have that dodge actually work as a dodge, because there were some items that upped your chance of actually using that as a dodge, but it was like a really low chance. I feel like I would like to see them allow you to have builds where you could just make that like an actual like viable dodge, because I don't feel like it was super viable to do in 3. I'm not saying don't make it. I feel like there is a better way than making it a percentage chance. But if you're going to, I want to say it was like super low, like maybe 20% of the time. If you had that item equipped, you could dodge or something like that. And I was just like, that's really low if you want to do that. Like, I feel like somebody would just kind of like, I kind of want to implement this, but I don't. You know, and it's just like, at that point, it's like, well, is it worth it?
Maybe it was a thing where they had the idea to include it, but then they had too much things to do and just settle with simplifying it. Like, I could see
it's a cool idea, but you have to use one of your 3 slot. Like, if you want your 3 artifact or equipment slots or whatever. I can't think of what they called them for some reason right now. For it, and it's like, if you're going to use one of the only 3 you get, which normally, you know, you put that towards something to make yourself just more powerful. If you want to put that towards having any kind of dodge thing at all, like, make it a little bit higher chance to do it than that. Otherwise, it just does not feel worth it, you know, as the player, I feel like.
Yeah.
That said, I feel like if they made it full on, just like, no, if you get it, it dodges every time. I think that would be.
Yeah,
I think that would change the game completely.
Yeah,
so
and I don't think for the better. Like, I
don't think that's the solution.
I think it would be also interesting if, like, it would be more interesting if the dodge doesn't just give you like negate damage, but it also maybe amplified certain other attacks.
Or maybe like a dodge and counter kind of thing of it, like he's done.
Yeah, I think that could be interesting. Or like maybe if you dodge, you have a chance of like negating a status effect.
Yes, I agree with that, but I also have another idea around that, actually. My idea was the dodge or the sidestep in those games was for like quick positioning. And that game is all about positioning for moves. Like, you get more damage off moves when you do a position. Maybe the play here is you get bonuses for dodging a certain direction. Like, if you dodge into this position around the enemy, you get more off this move. You get a little more damage for the position you're in, and you get a little more damage for the dodge at the same time. So, like, you could like incorporate both ideas a little bit. I feel like I think that would be like a really cool way to do it. Or you could set it to like, oh yeah, like if you dodge in, like, say you equip a thing that's like, so like if you're able to dodge to the back of this enemy, you get this much percentage, like it makes your percentage chance to do a crit this much better, or makes your percentage chance to actually dodge their move this much better. Like, I think stuff like that would be really cool, but it needs to be a little more than 20%.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I wish I remembered exactly how much it was. It may be higher than I was thinking, but I remembered it being pretty low. But yeah, like, there's a lot of cool stuff that they could do with that idea. I would love to see them like go further with it.
Yeah,
for sure.
That, and I want more arts in the next one that are like that feel kind of like an X with like this one is going to make you move in this direction when you use it and stuff like that. Like I loved like I'm sure it annoyed some people, but I love stuff that was like sliding slinger and things like that, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
these are fun. Until
definitely
you
still
slide
do
off
that.
a cliff, but it's still funny.
Yeah. They definitely still do that, don't get me wrong. But they really toned down like the movement in 3 in some ways on a lot of those. And I would love to see them kind of just amp up the movement again a little bit. It'd be cool.
I would like to see, I would like to see a movement be a thing, and I think you could also make it so that like maybe you could tie like positioning to like dual attacks, maybe.
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking you could do like a sliding slinger towards one of your other party members, and then if you hit the button at the right time, then you could do a dual attack with them.
Ooh.
I think they could
land towards them. Yeah.
Well, see, there's the other thing. They could do like, because like they could do like a sliding slinger that if they're dazed could launch them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff would be super cool. Like I love one thing that I really love in the Xeno series, in like the Xenoblade series, especially just like these combat maneuvers that you do with like the topple, topple, daze, smash, all that stuff,
satisfying.
launch. And like, it was super cool that, you know, all that stuff, you know, gets back and it comes back and gets iterated on. And like they ended up taking like directional paths in like 2 and 3 and stuff with them. And just any kind of thing where you get to like play with that stuff has always just been a ton of fun. So like, hey, just do more with that.
And especially like in 2, because like you could use Smash in particular to farm items off certain enemies. So like there's like incentives
not an
to
easy
not
combo.
kill right away. Yeah.
Yep. It was not an easy thing to just pull off all the time because it had a huge setup, you know? And just like, yeah, just more ways to do stuff like that. I'm all there for it. Which, to be honest, I think I feel like that's one of those things that is just going to be like a thing. I can't wait to see what they do, but
Can't wait to see what they cook.
outside of like the combat and UI and all that other stuff, I just like aesthetically, I kind of want to see. I mean, I know we did just get. Oh, okay, we just got a remake of like Xenoblade X and such, but I'm just like I would like to see like it go a little more like a little more hard sci-fi again. Well, not.
I agree.
It's not really hard, but like aesthetically hard sci-fi, I should say.
Yeah.
That's another thing I really like to see.
Mono is so good at sci-fi too, so I'm like, yes, please, more.
Yeah. And technically, even Blade is very sci-fi, as is Xenogears and all of that.
I have ideas with that, but I'm gonna say that for my turn.
But yeah, they're more very fantasy,
cool
sci-fi, and I want to see a more modern / like hard sci-fi, and you know, I don't necessarily need space travel or anything like that. I like space travel stuff, but I'm more interested in like, let's go down to a planet and explore the planet, whether it's just Earth or this or that. But yeah, I want to see like some big sci-fi buildings and shit. You know, I want all that and like my mechs and robots and the animals for B.
The animals for B.
Well, this is also kind of like because Kat couldn't be here, but they said something similar. They said, "I'd love to see more giant robots and post-apocalyptic sci-fi in the next one. Bonus if the masculine robots have high heels."
Hell yeah!
Which that's a nice aesthetic.
It is. And like, yeah, well, like that's another thing like about Xenoblade 2 is like one of my favorite like reveals. Well, it felt like a reveal in that game was just like getting to Land of Mortha and like the environmental storytelling of this post-apocalyptic like area that is like, oh, this is just like a very Earth-like city kind of looking place. I'm like, whoa. The technology levels just like skyrocketed, but also this place is in ruins. This is crazy. I love exploring stuff like that. Just aesthetically, I'm just a very big fan of like stuff like that, and the very more like cyberpunky kind of stuff too, and just heck, I think it would be pretty cool if the next Xeno went a little bit more like urban vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
That's probably an unpopular opinion because Monolith's like I love Monolith's like world design and like their landscapes and stuff, but man, is it bad that I'm getting just a little bit of tired of every single like game with a big world in it to explore just being like, oh, it's another look at this giant hunk of like mountains and this and that. Don't get me wrong.
It's called.
I still want some of that.
There's too many games that have been doing open world using the same formula, and we're all tired of it. Can we get something new?
Monolith's worlds are still very fresh. Like,
oh yeah, they are.
Feel like they feel like an outlier in all that, and I was much happier when
even
I saw much more like many more games going to like, this is like just a wilderness you're exploring, but it's like a very fantasy wilderness or a very like alien looking wilderness. Like, I love that kind of stuff, but I'm just like, yeah, like we could get a little bit of that, but also don't be afraid to give us some like cities or towns to explore too. Like I feel like
I feel like Monolith is better at that than a lot of other things.
I agree.
It depends, but like but it's still like a bit of a, it's cool to go around big maps, but like sometimes it can get a bit overwhelming to the point that you're just like, okay, I'm done now. I want to do something else than explore said map.
Oh, and I do want to make clear, I'm not saying that it needs to be open world either. Like in that matter, I'm just saying the world
Xeno
design
is
in
not,
general.
except for Xenoblade X, they're not necessarily full on open world. They're just big maps, but
yeah, exactly.
But that's kind of what I like about it, because when it's fully open world, sometimes I burn out more quickly. Especially that, like, the past few years we've had nothing but like open world after open world, and I'm like, sometimes I miss older RPG maps where they didn't have to be giant to give us like the pretty and the message and the exploration. Like,
I'm kind of like, I get, like, I'm very much on board with that, but I don't care. It doesn't matter if it's all one map or not to me. What matters is the design of that map. Like, I don't want, yeah, I don't want to be like, yeah, whether there's like a loading screen or not between parts of it, like you could cut all that out and I would be totally fine. I just don't want it to be like, here, you're in the middle of a world, pick a direction and find a thing. I want like a little bit more direction. Like, I like games like this especially to have that. And I feel like the open world design aesthetic is very much the open world like design thing for most games goes very much more like, oh, you just figure out where you want to go. Like, there's no right answer, and I'm like, yeah, maybe there should be, because I like Metroidvania. I like search action games for a reason. I like the lock and key system. I like to get the feeling of I got a new power that I can use to get it to another place. Or even the feeling of I got to a new part of the story, so I get to go to a new place. Like, either of those things, I would prefer.
I was going to say, I feel like Xenoblade 1 kind of struck a nice balance with that, because it's like...
Agreed.
That game's not open world, but it kind of feels like it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
because
get
they
to,
were
for
they
example,
were really going against the limits back then. But that back
right,
then it
you
was
have like,
not everything was open world. So back then it was like, oh, it's new, it's fresh, it's pretty,
yeah,
So
I know, but what I'm trying to say is that like you look at like Gore Plains, for instance,
oh yeah,
right? You go there and it feels like it's an open world when it's kind of not, right? You feel like, oh, but it's such a big area and there's so much for you to explore that you feel like you have that freedom, and I think that's cool. Like I
yeah,
like that.
that
Yeah.
is cool.
I mean, but like the thing is, it almost could have been like in a way, like if it were just like, oh yeah, like you go through here, but the only way to get to this next part is you have to go through this cave system, or you have to go through this part, and it's like if that were just that without like the loading screens, somebody would be out here being like, oh, that's technically open world. But that wouldn't matter because it has a level structure, like it has a design in a different way from like the open world games where it's just like pick a direction, like, and that's kind of the same thing I'm getting at too. Like for honestly, it's weird to bring this up, but like Dark Souls is a game that is like it is all one map, but there are like actual like directions and like levels to it. Like it's basically like invisible levels. You get to this area. Okay, did you go in? Like there's almost, it is very hard to mistake the order of what area to go to in the game. There's a little thing. There's a bit where you can absolutely like go the wrong direction, but not very much because it's just a very cleverly connected world. And I like that. And I feel like they could do something like that with, the next Xeno game. Even, this is like a weird one because this is an open world, but like, even like Elden Ring, the way they structured it, you can't really get to the, you can, but it's very difficult to. You have to really go out of your way. The world is shaped like a sea, and the rest of it is like ocean. So it like leads you in a direction, and in fact, it kind of throttles you to get into like the next area at the start, especially. But like you are in a big world, but you still have to kind of go in a certain direction to find the end zone. Like you are hitting a path, whether you want to or not, because that's just the way the world is shaped. And I think that was kind of an interesting way to do it too, in that kind of thing. Or, it wouldn't bother me if the next Xeno were just like, hey, it's just like big worlds, but it's all a narrow path like Shin Megami Tensei 5. I would be down for that. But I think they've gotten close to that in the past already,
Yeah.
Like I feel like Xenoblade 3 is kind of there in like in a lot of ways. Xenoblade 3 had a very well designed like world.
Mm-hmm.
If you make another ocean section of the game,
Oh god,
it can be smaller. It can be a little smaller.
It could be a little smaller.
It can be a
please make
little
it smaller, because even though I know I'm gonna fill the map with all the waypoints, my brain's like, no, I must fill the entire map myself to see that, to make sure that I went through every single corner of the map. Yeah, I was at it for a while.
It would probably make me happier if they just took that. Like, that feature, I like it until I find myself, like, getting addicted to doing that, and then I'm like, no, someone needs to take this away from me. I cannot sit here scribbling my way across the, like, coloring this map in with crayons as I travel across it in game for, like, 5 hours plus. In just this one zone, and like not even fighting stuff, just driving around it. Like that's too much. But yeah, I guess that's my list as far as I can think of right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Marie, would you like to go next?
Sure. Where do I start with? Well, I guess I could start like story-wise. What I could be interested. I really love what they set up in Xenoblade X, and I am curious to see what they're cooking with that, because they're obviously setting setting the path for something. And to me, I'm like, I feel like that's something, the way things ended in the the extra content. I'm like, I feel like it could be the follow-up of Xenosaga that we never got. I feel like it might be going that direction, and I'm really curious about it because, we never got the follow-up of Xenosaga. It does end, but it does end on the, well, we kind of did it, but did we? so
It's not over yet.
yeah, it's not over yet. So I'm just like, I'm curious to see what they might do with that. And I would love for them to explore some more of a follow-up to Xenoblade X, because I do feel like they have set up the cards really well there, and I'm like, it would be a shame not do something with it. So I think for me, that's the part I'm the most excited about, but I'd also be just as happy with anything new, because honestly, I'm always happy with what Monolith does. I tend to be really invested into their games. So yeah. So that would be for story. For gameplay, I would say, like we said earlier, bring back the freaking sprint and the jump and let us keep also the sidestep of Xenoblade 3. It would be amazing traversal skills, because you could just sidestep there, rush there, just it'd be great. And they could adapt enemies to be a bit faster too, because you're faster, just to freak you out a little bit more. But still, I'd love to have more movement like this, because the map are gigantic, and it's nice when you have something to go faster through them, whether it's just being able to sprint, or just like we said earlier, having some kind of vehicle or whatever, something to traverse a bit faster. I think it'd be nice, not necessarily at the start, maybe make it a bit like Xenoblade X, where you start a bit on foot and you gradually get a few more things to be able to traverse a bit faster, so but yeah, I do like that. I do think that they still need to work their menus a lot, because their menus, oftentimes whenever, because they have a lot of equipments, but the issue is that oftentimes the sorting is absolute garbage, and I just look at the menu and the vomit of information in front of me, and I go nope, and I leave. Because I'm just too much stuff to scroll through. No, I don't want to do it. Or I'll do it once, I'll go through the pain once, and I'll never touch it again, just like in Xenoblade 2 with the orbs. But even in Xenoblade 3, I think I was barely touching equipment, because the menu was pissing me off. I'm just there's so much shit to sort through, and everything is a big blob of
we can make better menus.
Yeah, exactly. We need better menus, more sorting. Also, I wasn't a fan of the whole, you go into the menu and it change music. I was I prefer when the menu keeps the background music that's currently playing. It's less, because then you open the menu and you kind of switch between music constantly, because you're just opening the menu all the time.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I agree.
Yeah, that was not something I enjoyed personally.
I thought the menu music was good, but I didn't like it switching.
But I don't like the idea of a music in the menu, unless it's some kind of menu that has a mini game or something like that. That's fine. But I much prefer still hearing the beautiful background music, maybe a bit more toned down while I'm going
just
through the menus.
Quiet it down a little.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
I much prefer that, because it doesn't break my immersion by being oh wait, yeah, I'm in the menu, of course. So
also, and while we're on that note,
yeah,
Chain attack. I knew you were gonna say that. Yep. Me too.
Was that what you were gonna say too?
Yeah. Chain attack is fun though, but at the same time,
it is. But I want to hear the other songs.
Yeah. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy spamming that shit, but yeah, I get it. I think they should, for stuff like that, they should have a toggable where like you can choose whether you
yes.
want, but whether you want the music to change to chain attack or whether you want the music to stay the same thing or change to something else. Like, you know, they could do toggables with like other musics too if they wanted to. Like say, oh, when chain attack, play this one instead. You know, just it could be fun. What
that
else?
actively caused me to not use chain attack in battles where I knew I wouldn't need it, just so I could listen to the rest of the song.
No, I always spam it.
actively did that.
I heard chain attack a lot more than that.
Actively did that. Like I used chain attack in like all the boss fights and all like the really strong enemies and stuff, but like any normal fight, I just stopped using it because I was like, I just want to hear the music. Like I'm gonna beat these guys anyway.
What else? Oh, also, I think they're still really bad with maps. Like, they have so much shit on their maps and so many levels, but they still cannot make a map that you look at that makes sense with the elevation. And that drives me insane every game, because then I'm just like, I'm trying to look for this objective that's, say, in a cave or like a different height, and I can't fucking figure out where the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But also, it's just like, I would love to have maps that are like, they don't even need to be complex, but at least make so that your slider to see the different elevation is a bit more clear. Like, if you have something like that, like, just, I would love the maps to be clearer to give you the information, because it's always something that pisses me off when games don't have it well, and then I'm just like running in circles trying to find this one entrance or whatever, because like it's not really properly written on the map, and I'm like,
On that note, HK.
Yes.
Hey Monolith, I need you to just like steal the Mario Kart 8 mini map. It's one of the best mini maps I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah, maybe they should contact whoever did that mini map. Though I don't remember it, because I didn't play enough of Mario Kart 8. Like, I played it very casually, so I don't remember the details, but...
No, it's Worlds.
Oh, World, okay. I thought you said 8.
No,
that makes
Worlds.
sense. I did not play World, so...
Because 8 doesn't have a mini-map, it doesn't need one.
Who knows?
World has an open world.
Maybe they were trying things in World for their next game, and maybe maps will get better.
Like, it's insane. If you've never seen the Mario Kart World mini-map, it's kind of insane. It's one of the, like, cooler things that. By the way, that game is getting better. They're already doing like updates that are fixing a lot of the problems people have had with it in the past. I played some more of that this past weekend, and I was having a blast. Great game. People will like sleep on it, and then like later on they'll be like, "When did this game get so good?" It's gonna happen. Anyway,
it's okay.
The way they do the mini map, it's kind of like a camera, like almost like a weird, like inverse fisheye lens kind of thing of just a top down of like yourself in the world, and I'm like, this is kind of crazy how nice this is. Like, it's so much easier to see what's going on around you on this mini map. So yeah, if you do a mini map, that's a pretty decent way to do it. I like it a lot. I think it would be cool in a new Xeno game.
Yeah, honestly, I think Xeno needs better map with like everything they have on their map. Like, I think that's definitely a thing they should improve. UI is also one of their weakness sometimes. Like, it's very hit or miss depending on like what they decide to do. Like, they do cool.
Nice.
I think they do cool UI, but they're often like all over the place too. At the same time, like, they are getting better at it, but yeah, I do think that even that still needs a bit of improvement, considering the amount of information going on in these games.
This is a commentary towards a lot of Japanese developers, but...
Yeah, but Xenoblade in general has so much going on their screen. Whenever
I was going to say
yeah,
some customization options for accessibility in your menus and maps and things would be...
Yeah, that
really
that's
good.
for sure, but like, I meant more in general, so that the information that you read on screen is more, you know... It doesn't look like a blob of things in your face. It's just a bit more like, you know, organized and whatever. But yeah,
that.
But yeah,
no,
overall...
sorry, I had to say that really fast because I something spicy went down my throat, and I almost was about to like cough. So it was like trying to get that out before that happened. Anyway, go on.
Right, anyways, HK, go on.
But yeah, aside from that, I can't think really of anything much else. Maybe I'd love to see some combos a bit like Xenoblade 2 come back, because I did love the combos in Xenoblade 2. But yeah, aside from that, I can't say I have a whole lot else, because I do enjoy exploring. It's just like I said, sometimes I do get burnt out by open world-esque games because there's too many now. When that happens, I go back and play a game that has like a normal map like Trails. Though I've been on the Trails grind forever, but you know. Anywho.
Open zone.
But anyway, I am looking forward to whatever else they do in the future, and I am sure I will likely love it regardless of what happens. And with that, I will leave that in the hands of, I guess, Justin.
Okay, sure. I could talk about what I want. So
just in time.
It's just in time.
It is just in time. Yeah.
Just in time.
Yes.
So similar to B, I actually would like. We're gonna start my story. So similar to B, I actually would like a new story that's not necessarily tied to Blade or Saga or Gears. I think it'd be cool if we just got some new ideas just in general. Like, I'm okay with a couple nods here and there, but like, I don't want another ending where I have to see or hear Shulk's face or voice. Or Rex. Like, let's do something else.
Change the future.
Yeah, we don't need that again. It's not that I disliked it when it happened in 2 and in X, but like, you did it. You did it twice. We don't need to do it again.
And 2 is still fresh.
Yeah, like, it was cool.
And 2, we didn't see it coming.
Yeah, we didn't see it coming, but when it did it in X, it was just like, okay.
We can only have so many, like, Leonardo DiCaprio point moments in this series.
2, and another thing, I'm going to actually say, like, I know B mentioned, like, having different perspectives. I actually kind of like that idea. I think that, like, it'd be interesting if they were to do something like that. I would love to see them do it kind of like how Golden Sun did it, where you basically had 2 teams, 2 separate parties, and they all have like their own adventure. One is, you know, they both have like kind of conflicting goals, right? But they eventually converge. I think that's really cool, and I'd like to see if Xenoblade was to do two different perspectives. I think that would be a cool format to emulate. But yeah, I want to see new ideas from them. I definitely want to just see, and I think part of this is also because I've been playing Disaster, and that's just a game that just feels so different and out of left field. So I'm like, dang, like this company can make like different stuff, and I want to see what else they can do. That's not necessarily what we've seen before. I want to see something new.
Oh my gosh, Justin.
I don't know if we're gonna get that, but it would be cool if we could see it.
We need the CPR minigame in the next Xeno.
Hell yeah. But as far as gameplay goes, what I would like to see is, you know, we're talking about like, you know, we need mecha, but like, what if we had spaceship battles?
Oh, like if it's like Skies in Arcadia, but with spaceships. Yeah,
like Skies of Arcadia. Like,
oh yeah.
What if we had? I don't
I'm gonna approach that one cautiously.
Like, here's my idea with that. I think, what if we had maybe 3 to 4 spaceship battles throughout the whole game, just like for big story moments where like we're in space and you get to command a ship. I think that could be really interesting, especially with the real-time combat system they got in these games. I think there's potential there for that.
I think so.
And I also would love to see us have the ability to explore more than one planet. I think that could be really cool too.
I would like that.
I like to think of it reminds me of the original Phantasy Star, where you could do that, where you could actually explore multiple planets, and it was really cool. That you could do. I'd like to see a Xeno game touch on that if we're gonna go into the sci-fi.
I'm always like very mixed on vehicular combat in general, because I've seen I've seen some games that do it in a way I enjoy, but I've seen far more games I feel like that do it in a way that I'm like, this feels either tacked on or just kind of you know.
Monolith does have experience in that. They did pretty cool mech battles in Xenogears and Xenosaga 1.
Yeah.
They could put it a notch higher with their new experience.
Yeah, and I feel like
they could do it with their positioning battle system as is. So I think that you're on to something there with that, for sure. But
I don't know, and I'm not even saying that like it needs to be like a common thing. Like, okay, you hop into a spaceship and then you're doing battles. I'm saying have a couple key battles take place in a spaceship. Mm-hmm. Like, these are some big moments in a story that, no, you're commanding a spaceship, you have, like, hundreds of fleets, and then it turns into this crazy, like, strategic thing. Like, you know how, like, in Suikoden, there's, like, a couple moments in that story where it turns into, like, an SRPG? Like, what if Xeno had a moment like that, but you're in a spaceship? That's what I'm thinking of. Another thing
they were turn-based, but technically there were a few of those in Xenogears.
Yeah?
You know, like when the Yggdrasil transformed and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm also thinking, I want to see some, like, more branching paths, kind of like what they did in X with some of the side quests. I want to see more of that. I like the idea.
Me too.
I like the idea that, like, NPCs can just straight up die. I know that's going to be, like, a nightmare for completionists, but, like, there's something really cool about
the fact
Justin. That, like... yeah, but there's something cool about the fact that, like, my decisions matter. And, like, I'm actually affecting the world.
I'm joking. I think it can be cool when done right.
yeah. Like, obviously...
in X, it's not a thing that actually is a detriment to your completion of the game.
Exactly. And that's why I think it works in X. Because, like, for the most part, if an NPC dies, like, the few that can die, they're not necessarily going to affect your game. In fact, I think quite a few of us didn't even realize it was a thing until later. Because, like, they didn't necessarily have, like, that huge of an impact in terms of, like, you not getting items and all that.
A lot of people didn't realize it because they were like, oh, well, you know, I was more focused on completing the game than doing the side stories. I'm like, side stories is the best part of the game.
Yeah. But I want to see them experiment with that some more. And even if it's not NPC, that's just in general, having branching paths, different outcomes that can actually change the world in some ways. I want to see that. I think that's really cool. I think X had a good idea. They had some good ideas there. I also just like in general how like you were getting other races to join you, and again you saw how your city was changing based on that. If they're gonna do that again, I want to see them lean further into that. Like, let's see like the other races start to build like real settlements, and I want to see that. I think that'd be super, 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 super cool.
Actually, while you're on that note, real fast, that made me think of something. If you don't mind, I just want to say,
go for it.
One thing that I think really works for Xenoblade Cross, with those side stories, I think that could be carried over in a way to other Xeno games. Is part of the reason that worked is because like a lot of those side quests were like mini like vignettes. Like it almost felt like, oh, you're playing an anthology series inside of this bigger game at times, because it's like they covered all these little different sci-fi scenarios. I think that is a really cool way to both make a side quest that feels like it has something meaningful to say, and you can have your character moments in there. Like, I do like how they carried out like side quests in 3 where I mean, honestly, I think Xenoblade 3 was a good mix of the two in a lot of ways, because it was like, oh, we're exploring these characters through these quests, but also like this character introduces a concept these characters didn't think of here, and like, you know, like I do want to see more of that sort of thing, because I think it is just very compelling to do things that way. Yeah, I like the whole idea of the anthology, non-anthology, like the quantum leaps kind of style things, or like Keshern Sins is like every episode is like, oh, he's just traveling this post-apocalypse and he encounters this new group of like robots living this way, and like it introduces some new concepts out in this. I love that whole style of thing. I think one of the reasons that Dragon Quest XI works so well for me too is because a lot of the levels or a lot of the areas throughout that game are their own story. Like they're like a vignette kind of style thing, and I think that's really cool for like side quests, especially. So yeah, that's my piece on that.
Mm-hmm. And I think to continue on that, like, I also want to see them do more environmental storytelling, just with some of the enemies even. So one thing they did in Xenoblade 2, and I think this is the only instance I could think of this happening in Xenoblade 2. If there are more, let me know. But I remember in Tantal, there was a unique monster that you could kill, and it would drop a named tombstone. And then as you came back there, you'll see another unique monster that's just standing at that tombstone, like almost like it's grieving it. And
yes,
I think that was such a cool thing. Like, that blew my mind when I saw that. And I want to see them do more things like that with the unique monsters, have them interact with each other in weird ways.
I thought you were going to bring up the thing where you get to raise the I can't think of the name.
Well, we already spoke about that. Yeah,
we did talk about that though. Yeah,
we did talk about that.
I thought you were going to bring up that at first, but yeah, we did kind of. But well, also, like Xenoblade Cross did a thing like that with like the baby. Is like, oh, should you kill or not kill the baby Swedes?
Yeah, so that goes into like the branching paths, which I do like that. Yeah. That's actually a great example of what I was talking about before about how I like how your decision could like impact the world. I like that. So more of that would be really, really, really cool. And I also think, just like to go back to the Armu, I think in general, like, there is some unexplored territory when it comes to like some sort of like monster raising mechanics in this series. I feel like that hasn't really been explored that much. And I think like I feel like the ingredients are kind of there, because like you do have the whole mechanic with like feeding the blade stuff to raise your stats, right? And get their affinity up.
I guess I wouldn't mind like a beast tamer class. I'm gonna tread lightly on the whole like full on raising mechanic.
Yeah, I don't want it to be Pokemon. Yeah. I don't want it to become that. But I'm thinking like,
I was not a big fan of that in Kingdom Hearts 3D.
Yeah. Like, if I had to cite a game, it could potentially be like some of the Dragon Quests. Yeah. Maybe something like that. Like, it doesn't have to even be every monster, but maybe there could be some monsters that you could raise, or you could do certain things with them. Maybe they could, like, grant your town some bonuses. Maybe there's even, like, a morality system with some of those monsters where, like, they could go bad, and then you have to make that decision if you want to kill them or not. I think that's an interesting thing to explore with these games.
I see the vision.
Yeah. But yeah, more environmental storytelling, more branching paths, maybe spaceship battle. I think that could be really cool. Also, like, let's get more mini games. We like mini games. Like, have an actual like game center in a Xeno game. I want to see that.
I just had a thought. I'm not sure if it would work, because I know the way that these games kind of do things, but I think it would be pretty freaking cool if there were some arts that you could use that doubled as field maneuvers to like get around, rather than it just being a check like it has in the past in a lot of cases. Like, make it that would be more like an immersive simi thing, I guess, like where it's like, oh yeah, this isn't just an attack, this is also like a thing that you can actually use to get here, you know. I think that would be kind of cool in Zen. I think
I could agree with that. Yeah,
I think that could be implemented in a really interesting way. And I'm not saying it has to be every art usable that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, kind of like
some stuff.
I say it's like almost take I don't know if this was intended, but almost take like how people use Ghostwalker, but like
yes,
but just like take that a step further, right?
It's or Shadowrunner. Yeah.
Take like Shadowrunner, but like use that a step further.
Yeah. Like, just take it like for like make moves that are used in battle where they can double as like traversal or like break through obstacles moves. Like, I feel like Xenoblade has, I feel like the Xenoblade games in general have had like this weird thing where it's like they don't really know how they want to, or like I don't feel like they had the most solid idea for like, oh, we want to make it where there's an obstacle that you can only get past if you can do this, and like it's always like a skill check or this or that, and it kind of got to a point where it's like, oh, their workaround went from it's annoying that you have to like switch to this blade in 2 to in 3, where it's kind of like, why is this even a separate thing whenever in most cases, other than a story progression thing, it's just kind of like, oh, I can just do this when I walk up to it. Like, I feel like there's a better approach to that. I feel like that approach might be in make some arts that end up doubling as a field skill. And it's not just like, oh, a check. It's like, oh, you've got to actually like use this in a creative way to get here. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, I would love that. I would personally love that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think those are pretty much all my thoughts.
Okay. Well, before going into my thoughts, I thought I'd share someone else who couldn't be here today, Anthony. He also had some hopes for the future. He said, "The thing I'd like to see most is simply a continuation of the story that Takahashi has been telling the last decade. I'm invested, and while some of his themes don't always land, I'm overall really enjoying what he's cooked and excited to see where he takes us."
Sounds good.
Well, it's almost been like he's been cooking this for like 2 decades.
Yeah, but there was a lot of setbacks.
As we discussed.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I don't have too much. I didn't go in depth with stuff as you guys did. But anyway, we mentioned a lot earlier mechs. Like, I know some people some people like say, oh, Ouroboros forms. That's kind of mechs, but I still.
I want more mechs like in the likes of Xenoblade X, where we actually have our mechs and get customized.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's like a separate unit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Ouroboros was cool. It is cool, but it wasn't what that itch that I had for mechs. So definitely bring them back. This is stupid, but I know we're probably not getting anything Xenosaga. I'm saying this to hopefully be proven wrong, but bring Cosmos back as a cameo. She was really great in Xenoblade 2. Like, even besides being a cameo, she was just a great character in that. So I know it's dumb, but bring her back if that's all she's been relegated to.
Make B irate. Let's go. I'm just kidding.
like that is another thing. Like I say this, another bullet point on my list is don't force connections to the other games. So I'm contradicting myself big time.
Listen, I love the subtle nods. I'm getting a little bit. Yeah. I'm mainly getting a little bit on the on the stuff where it's just like, hey look.
That's where I'm at with it. Like, or at the very least, if you're gonna do it, don't do it the same way you did it already.
Yeah.
Don't helicopter at me.
Don't helicopter at me. That's so funny.
And I don't know if it's just me, but one of the things I would kind of like is less characters, just so that there's like more focus on
someone playing through trails. Yeah, I agree.
like I guess going back to Xenoblade X with its huge cast, and then we had Blades in Xenoblade 2, and then Heroes in Xenoblade 3. I feel like, I mean, the characters are cool, but I feel like I never get enough of them. It's just like if there was fewer characters,
it's like how do you make that balance?
Exactly.
So many.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult.
It is. So I wouldn't be against having less characters if we could get more out of the characters that we do have.
Make them all robots.
Make them all robots.
Make them all mechs. Make them all
mechs.
Yeah, all the bonus classes tied to mechs.
Problem solved.
Well, I do not hate that idea.
That would be kind of funny.
That would be funny, but I like that too. Yeah, and then also I said bring back Xenocard. Any mini game, as Justin said earlier, I love a mini game back. Like,
I love to have mini games back. I think Monolith, even though like their mini games were not always like perfect, I do love them. Like stuff like Acox or just the mech battles or things like that were pretty fun.
and Tiger was pretty fun, and
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play it like a ton, but it was still like a nice diversion from the usual every once in a while. Yeah, but pretty much like what a lot of you said. Like I would love it to go back to it, be more sci-fi, and I would definitely want some type of follow up to Xenoblade X. I'm not gonna hold my breath, just like Xenosaga Remaster, but yeah, and then just I definitely want to see if what Microsoft does next, and if there's something like that we can't even think of that they're cooking up. I love to see it.
That'd be great. I would love to see something like a. Well, I do love the way that the Xeno games present themselves, but I would love to see something like a little more alternative, like I would kind of appreciate if they went a little bit like of a crazy direction with the soundtrack. Like it would be cool to see them pull something a little more punk, stylistically. I would personally love that, but I also like grindcore what is it called? Dang, is that the Jet Set Radio style stuff and things like that? That's what I was trying to say. I just can't think of the name of it right now.
I'm not quite sure what style it is on that, but yeah,
like sci-fi aesthetics like that. That's like very street and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this series needs to go that direction. I'm just saying just something, different. I do feel like they tend to go very much more like this moody orchestral style. Maybe change up the music just a little. Like I love Mitsuda, but I mean, and I love Ace and all the others as well. But
I think they'd be able
cool
to do any kind of
different.
style. To be honest, it's just a matter of what direction they want to go with each game. But yeah,
or maybe bring back Sawano or Yuki Kajura.
Yeah, I would love that.
They brought
Kajura.
Oh
my gosh,
that would be amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, just have them all there, all the composers, all the Xeno composers.
Get some Bomberman composers for those mini games they're gonna add. Some Bomberman and Monkey Ball composers on that or something. Yeah. I mean, it's not like we don't have a bunch of composers that work on these games already. Mix it up. That's what I'm getting at.
Bring back Shinji Hosoe from the Xenosaga Episode 2 gameplay music. But yeah, that's all I can really think of at the moment. I'm not too picky, but I just want to see what they're doing next, and if they did something that wasn't Xeno, I mean, that would be amazing, but not Xeno's good and all, but if they did something out of left corner and just did something like another Disaster or Baten Kaitos or something completely different, I'd be all for it as well.
Same. They know how to cook.
Anyway, they should make Disaster 2 now. It's time. Time to bring it back.
It's time. Okay. That is all I can think of. Anybody else think of any last thing or that they'd like to see?
I think we mentioned pretty much everything that I can think of.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's it, then I guess that's... Oh, yes.
No, I was going to make a joke. I was like, I want Suda51 to write part of the story. I'm kidding.
You can say it.
I don't think that would be good for this.
That would be weird.
I think a lot of people would hate that. I would love it, but I think a lot of people would hate that.
All right. Well, thank you very much for this brainstorming. We'll see in I don't know how long, but once the next Xenoblade game's announced. So it'll be interesting to see or come back to this episode and see what we got wrong and what we got hopefully right.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for listening and joining. Let's go around, if you don't mind, and discuss if they plug anything or anything you're up to. Justin, you want to go first?
Yeah, so on stream we just finished Rad, and then we're gonna work on finishing Disaster. And we're gonna do a mini episode on Disaster. That's coming.
Yes.
So yes, look forward to that. I've got a lot to say about that game. And another game that I've been playing on stream is Tales of Destiny Director's Cut. Some of you know I am trying to play through all the Mothership Tales of games on stream, and we're currently on Destiny. So yeah, Tuesdays, go on Retro Roulette. You can watch me play that.
It's cool.
Awesome. How about you, Marie?
Well, I had the big break during the holidays for streaming, but I just came back starting from like last weekend, so I just now finished the first Vi, and I will play the second one this Friday. I will start playing that, and I am still playing Ace Attorney forever for God knows how many Sundays. Like, every Sunday I play Ace Attorney at 8, so yeah, if you're into Ace Attorney, you can come there, or if you're into Falcom, you can come on the Falcom Friday, both at 8 p.m, and yeah, I'm pretty much there. I've also been drawing a little bit for fun, but I'm kind of like very inconsistent at it because I don't always have time. Oh yeah, and also I am caught up with Trails except the new one. So yeah, I'm currently playing the new one at the same time as everybody else. I'm like, that is so weird.
That's a dream.
Yeah, that's a dream, right? But anyway, I think that's about it for me.
Okay. All right. How about you, Nick?
Well, I'm not streaming anything because I like watching my friends stream too much, and our schedules that time doesn't work that way. But I am playing some games. I had been juggling so many games in the back half of last year between like all the new stuff that I was trying to play and everything that I like only in the past couple of weeks finally beat Silksong, but I beat Hollow Knight Silksong 100%. I did everything that other than like I missed a few in the bug compendium, and I also didn't get every memento. But I basically did every. And I'm not playing still. I'm probably not going to play still. So I'm good. I played enough of that game. It was great. I loved it. Yeah, my thoughts on that are which I've been. It wasn't my first game clear of the year. My first game clear of the year, Super Metroid, which I had put off playing for a long time. Which I played bits of it, but never like all the way through until like I started at the end of last year, and I really loved that game. I am coming to find as I play through Metroid how much I like those, which is not surprising as much as I I got into Castlevania with the DS Castlevanias, and then I played Symphony of the Night last year, and that was also an all-timer, which I now completely understand, But yeah, no, it's been cool to go through some of those. Oh yeah, and also I played, the greatest game of the last decade, quote, recently, which I don't think is at all. It's good, but it's Expedition 33. It's a good game. It didn't it didn't blow my pants off or anything, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Technically I got a little bit left to do in that one, but I've for like all intents and purposes I have played all the main stuff in it. So yeah. I have been drawing a bit. I'm trying to get some stuff done for this podcast even. But I've been very sick lately actually. Kind of getting over that, and there's been some days where I've been so sick that, my brother was in the other room, and he started up Stardew Valley, and I was like, I've never played that. I haven't played a Harvest Moon in years. That actually doesn't sound bad. And I turned it on and I'm like, I'm sorry. I think this game is ugly. And then I modded it and I'm like, good. Now I'm good.
Nice.
It looks better now.
Yeah, there are a lot of mods for that game, I heard.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's a very fun game.
Yeah.
And it's just a very good chill game that I can.
That seems like a good game to play while sick. That's
I've been going between that and on days that I feel like I can consume story and like actually take it in. I've been playing Trails to Azure, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from 0 and to Azure, yeah. And I am very much enjoying that game, but I am actually very early on in that game, so yes.
That game is a masterpiece, really good.
It is very good, and the days that I pick it up and play it, if I have the time, I'm just doing almost nothing but that. But there are other days where I'm just like, my brain just doesn't want to look at letters, and I'm just going to play Stardew Valley and like veg out on that all day because I need that kind of game right now.
Crossbell Arc is really, really good. It's very tight.
Yeah, Azure's my next on the list.
It's a very good
I've been hitting them games like crazy lately.
I'm currently playing through I'm back to Cold Steel after taking like a 4-month break on that. So finally finishing chapter 3, and now I'm in the middle of chapter 4. I was playing it just before we recorded this.
I took like a year break after 0, so yeah.
Yeah, I told people that I would lock in on Trails after MagFest, so we're now after MagFest, so I'm gonna try.
I see a certain Trails group has gotten into you and entered your brain.
yeah. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me get back on this.
Justin making some enemies in the Trails fan. I'm kidding.
Nah, they're allies.
I'm joking.
Listen, the number of people that love both Xeno and Trails, we're allies, okay? We're not enemies.
It's almost like we should do an episode someday. But I
was mainly joking about like, it was Justin having some hot takes in the Trails fandom.
There's a lot of nonsense in the Trails, but I've said, as I was saying in the server, like there's a lot of nonsense in the series, but I'm kind of here for it. Like, it's just making me laugh. At this point, it's just making me laugh.
It's fun.
I feel like Trails fans I feel like it's a mutually agreed upon nonsense in most scenarios with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I think I have laughed more at like I coming off of 0. I will say. I was like, I like Wazi, but I don't know if I understand why people like him this much. And going into Azure, it's like much more immediately apparent why.
Oh yeah.
Like I would like to say
let's not go too far into it though, because Jin.
I'm not going to say any like examples. I'm just going to say he has made me laugh a lot more in just like the first few hours.
I think Jin is trying to segue to end the episode.
That was okay.
I'm gonna give you that segue, Jin.
Thank you. Trails is good. Trails is good.
Yeah.
But as for me, so we've been. I mean, I finished coding most of Xenokami, and we're currently beta testing it. I have 3 beta testers. So I've heard from one of them. I haven't heard from the other 2, so I'm hopefully we'll get things ironed out. I won't say a date because I know I'll screw it up. So we're just really, really close finishing Shion's chapter, so look forward to it. Otherwise, I've been playing Metaphor ReFantasio, and it is excellent.
That's another one I need to get to.
Like, I don't know if it's my favorite story characters of the Persona series, but it's
I don't think it's Persona. It's like original.
It's basically Persona though. It's basically Persona.
Well, it's the same theme, so
yeah. So that's
they want it to be very different, but it feels like it does. The feel of it does seem to be very that in a lot of ways. It is,
but they've ironed out the gameplay, and it's just a well-oiled machine at this point, and it's The gameplay is just so good in this game. It's just so good. But so I'm really enjoying it.
It's nice that they took a detour and did something a little different.
Oh yeah. Like the world itself is really interesting. But that's, and I'm juggling a bunch of other games. Like I'll just mention I have been playing Super Robot Tyson, OG Saga, Endless Frontier, Exceed. I'm playing the English translation that Val worked on, and it's been good. I mean, if you've played the first game, it's definitely more of the same. But yeah, it's fun. I might have an extra episode dedicated to that someday, maybe. But it'd be interesting to get Val's like feed or input on the translation process of that. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, thank you everybody for discussing. Hopefully we'll see what the future brings. But thank you very much and have a good night.
See ya.
Bye bye.